In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to stop your procrastination, become unstuck,
and I'm stuck here,
and experience the success you've been looking for. I'm Dr. Dan, I'm a neurostrategist. I am passionate about the brain. But you know what? I'm more passionate about you reaching your goals, not in a weird way, not in some sort of extreme way, but in a real, practical way, and this video is going to show you exactly how. So first things first, if you're going to stop procrastination and become unstuck, you've got to watch out who you let upstairs. I'll start with a story, and you've probably heard this before, but there were 3 frogs that started a race. And at the beginning of this long, grueling, exhausting race, all the crowd was jeering and yelling at them,
"Stop now! Nobody's ever finished this race. Just quit. You'll never make it."
And the first frog stopped within minutes. And the second frog stopped after just a few minutes, but the third frog finished the entire race despite all of the people yelling at him. And it turns out that third frog was deaf. He couldn't hear it. And although this is a false story, it's an important story that paints a perfect picture, is that you got to stop listening to what other people are saying. And you got to realize that the brain is actually wired to take that in. It's very sensitive. And you know the most important voice that you hear is your own. I see this all the time. In fact, I just saw this recently when I was on the golf course. My brother and I were golfing with another twosome, and one of the guys, after every bad shot, he just told himself how bad he was and how crappy he was. And he used some very colorful language.
What a colorful expression.
And I just thought to myself, I'm so in tune to that. Very in tune to what I'm telling myself, because I'm actually in tune to telling my own children. And one of the biggest things when it comes to procrastination, you're just putting something off or procrastinating it because you have an undesirable outcome that you think is going to happen. And I've been guilty of this myself. In fact, I'll consider myself analytical, where I've got to wait to make a decision. And in reality, what I'm really doing is I'm fearful of the outcome that may occur, so I'm actually just putting the decision off. It's no different than procrastination. And so what I want to show you is that you can rewire your brain with a couple simple changes, but based on research on how powerful you are and what you're capable of to become unstuck, stop the procrastination, and ultimately gain the success that you deserve. So let me shift gears and drive this home for you. There was a researcher by the name of Kurt Richter who used rats in water. And what he did is he put these rats in water and he had them swim until they could not swim so more. Exhausted, they started drowning. And then he saved these rats. And most rats made it 5 minutes. So he saves them, he lets them rest for a few minutes. And what happened next will blow your mind. He put them in again to find out how long they can make it. Again, these rats had just swam to exhaustion. And so if I asked you the question right now, how long do you think they last now? And not only did they last 5 minutes, not only did they double their time, not only did they quadruple their time, they lasted 60 hours on average in that water before they succumbed to the drowning process, which he saved them again. This is exactly why you have everything inside you to stop procrastination, become unstuck, and reach the success and fulfill the dreams that you've been desiring. I don't say this as some sort of weird extreme thing to get you to think you can do something. Your brain is wired in a very specific way. And this research was very clear to show the power of hope. And the moral of that story, or the extrapolation, what we take out of that is, when these rats were saved for the first time, see, initially they were drowning, they were swimming, eventually drowning, and they quickly went down. But when they realized that someone was going to save them, it gave them a level of hope that the next time they did that, they were willing to go further and longer and withstand the challenge and the failure and the exhaustion and the pain because they had hope. And the first thing I'm going to tell you to overcome that procrastination and becoming unstuck and reaching success is to have hope. See, hope drives persistence, and it starts right between your ears. If you look at some of these fascinating leaders that we've read about, we've learned about, Albert Einstein, who was told he was mentally handicapped and would never amount to anything, or Oprah, who was fired from her first TV job, or Michael Jordan, who didn't even make his high school basketball team in his freshman year. You look at them, and all of these great leaders had one thing in common, is they persisted. It wasn't that they didn't fail, it's just that they persisted. that persistence is the key for you as well, knowing you're gonna deal with challenge. Michael Jordan was famously quoted as saying, "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, I have been entrusted to take the game-winning shot and I missed. I have failed over and over and over in my life. And because I've failed, that's why I succeed." And you know this, you've probably heard that before, but get that in your DNA, because this is where your brain can be rewired. Because if you have some hope, just like these rats had some hope, you've had areas of your life, you have some evidence that proves you are capable of doing the thing that you want to do, achieving the goals that you want to achieve. You need to really bring those to life and make that be the wiring of your brain and not what you can't do. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You get to choose. So that first key ingredient to rewiring your brain is to be an overcomer. Choose persistence. Have hope. Evaluate the evidence that you've had thus far in your life. Number 2, I said it before, watch out who you let upstairs. Watch out who you let reside in this thing called your brain and your mind. Nothing brings this to light more than the story of Thomas Edison. And the story goes like this. Thomas was sent home from school with a note for his teacher. And Thomas said, "Mom, my teacher gave me this and said that you are the only one to read it. What does it say?" With tears in his mother's eyes, she said, "Your son is a genius. He is too advanced for this school. We don't have smart enough teachers to teach him here. You are going to need to teach him yourself." Edison went on to become one of the greatest inventors of all time. Years later, after his mom had passed away, Edison found the exact note in a closet, and it read, "Your son is mentally deficient. He cannot come to school here anymore. He is expelled." Edison said he was a mentally deficient child whose mother turned him into the inventor of the century. James said, "Your words can either start a fire for good or stomp out the flame of potential." Schools often try to squash that flame. And I get emotional thinking about that because I've got 3 girls, and even telling you that story. When everybody else that were leading him at that time said that he should be expelled, mentally deficient. First off, for his mom to pick up on that right away and to read that to him, say, "No, right? No, that's not my son. This is what you're capable of. This is what," and she spoke to his potential, not to his incapability. See, the difference between your current ability and your capability is time. So if you put the work in and you give yourself evidence and you put in your brain positive words that lead to action, see, the game changes. I need you to get this. All right, follow me. Come right here. Like, you have to understand this. You have a free will. That free will allows you to determine your future. So you have factors right now in your life. Some are contributing factors and some are determining factors. I'm going to tell you right now, your determining factors is what is going to control or determine your future, not the contributing factors. Your determining factor is what you choose it to be and how you live your life. And the controls and the actions and all of that is based on your behavior. But this is where it gets crazy for me. I wrote about this in this book, The Trust Formula, because I said everything is about the stories you tell. That's what the brain is wired to hear and to respond to. But the biggest and most important story is the story you have in your own mind about yourself and about your future and about what you're capable of. And I'm telling you, when you paint that story, see, then it changes your belief. Belief changes your actions change your results. This is the beauty of overcoming procrastination, becoming unstuck, and making sure you reach the success and achieve the goals that you've been designed to achieve. I get fired up about this because you're capable. You are more than enough, and you need to realize that you have within your capabilities a free will to choose a different road. No matter what you've been up to now, you have the capability to choose a different road, overcome that procrastination, and ultimately, like Thomas Edison's mom, choose life. So whether it comes to your health, it comes to your business, it comes to your communication, it comes to your finances, your relationships, or any of the above, you have the capabilities right now to stop the procrastination, get unstuck, turn the tables on what's currently happening, and then achieve these goals that I know you have deep down. So that's why I'm here, is to continue to bring you brain-based, results-driven evidence for you to grab a hold of and ultimately take the next leap in your life and in your success. There you have it. Hit the like button, give me a comment. Dr. Dan, I'm out.